Now, here's a quick one about a gal who's having a mini meltdown because her boyfriend is telling her, hey, if we're going to be together, I don't want you wearing revealing outfits or putting yourself up on Instagram, stuff like that, handling it like a boss. However, you're going to see when push comes to shove, the guy who certainly is acting in the way we can all be proud of eventually caves, and there's a very important lesson here. Title: My boyfriend, a 19-year-old male, has given me, a 19-year-old female, an ultimatum on the clothing I wear. She says, my boyfriend and I have been together for a few months after taking a break for a year because I moved away for that year. Neither of us want to do long distance, and neither of us got into a relationship with anybody else. Before that, we were in high school together, 2 years. Back then, he didn't care what I wore, or at least didn't communicate to me that he found certain clothing, shirts with midriff showing and tattered dresses on me, or me posting vacation pictures, such as me on the beach in a bikini, ding, 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 uncomfortable for him. Now that we've gotten back together, he tells me it is a boundary for him that I wear my more modest clothes because he doesn't want other men to see parts of his girlfriend that only he should see. I don't blame him there, you know. You don't want your girl walking around. It's your girlfriend. You're in a committed relationship. You shouldn't be walking revealing. Because a lot of gals nowadays walk around with shorts or skirts. So you can see their buttholes hanging out pretty much. And you get my point. Or showing off on Instagram to get a bunch of attention and validation. I don't blame him. He told me that before he just felt happy that he got to be with me because he liked me for years and didn't feel like it was his place to tell me what to wear. Translation: back then, he was more of a typical nice guy. Obviously, he grew a pair since then, at least on the surface, because back then he'd let her do whatever because he was just happy to be with her. He was putting her on a pedestal, which is a mistake, of course. Now that we're back together, it's different. Yesterday I went through my clothes and he told me that he is okay with me wearing what he's okay with me wearing and what he isn't. There was one specific dress that I loved and he told me that's a no, and I started crying. We almost broke up over this one dress, and he asked me would I care more about him or the dress. Obviously, I told him I care more about him. It's very difficult for me because I'm very into fashion, and I don't see these clothes as too revealing or sexual at all. I also struggled with body image for years when I was younger, and this is taking me back to the mindset of not being able to wear certain clothes because I wanted to hide my body. However, I'm very dependent on him and value his opinion a lot. I don't know what to do. Well, if you got to wear certain outfits to make yourself feel better about yourself, you got a bigger problem. And if you got to post pictures of yourself on Instagram in bikinis to get attention, make yourself feel better, you got a major problem. And he has a right to say, hey, you know what? We're going to be together. I don't want you wearing these types of outfits out or posting pictures of yourself on Instagram or social media. I don't blame him at all. And she has a choice. Either she can do that or have him as a boyfriend, but she can't have both. That's all he has to say. And of course, he'll be labeled as controlling and insecure, but who the fuck cares? Now, here's the update. Because she posted on Instagram, and can you guess the type of comments she got? Do you think it's in support of him or in support of her saying, girl, you don't need him. Girl, you can wear whatever you want. Well, watch this. It says, first of all, I want to thank you all for all the support and advice on my last post. I read every single comment and wanted to reply, but the reply option wasn't available. I'm new to Reddit, and I'm not sure, blah, whatever. I reiterated how important fashion is to me and how his demands will bring me back to a dark time of negative body image. Okay, honey, let's not get carried away now. We came into an agreement that there are fundamental differences in our values and what we want out of the relationship. Because I want to be encouraged and uplifted while he wants a girl whose body is only his to look at. He's not asking to walk around like those gals in the Middle East where their whole bodies are covered up. Who just doesn't want you walking around with your boobs hanging out and your butthole hanging out? That's not unreasonable. And not to mention the fact, on Instagram showing off your parts. He says, by the way, I wanted to say that this dress was not scandalous. It is tight in some parts, but doesn't show a lot of skin. He told me that we are done. Ooh. He then blocked me and everything because if he saw me, he would not be able to get over me. I cried for a couple hours and then got myself collected. I made an appointment with a therapist and got a membership at a different gym than him. Therapist. Everybody's going to therapy these days. Now listen to this. But then 5 hours later, he unblocked me and sent a long paragraph about how he shouldn't have been so hasty and was willing to change to make things work. And like that, she's got all the power. I guarantee you, if he just held back for a while, she probably would have reached out to him. And she wouldn't then be in the relationship. None of those pictures on Instagram. No walking around with shorts and skirts with her butt hanging out. But now that he reached out to her, he caved first. Watch what happens. Yesterday, he texted me some more asking to talk in person, and I agreed to meet him up for dinner at a public place. I wore the dress. He brought me a bouquet of white roses and my favorite chocolate. Smack. Why don't you just wear a sign? He said, I'm your bitch now. He told me I look beautiful and that the 5 hours without me hurt so much at this point, he doesn't care if I'm walking around naked as long as he's the one I'm with. Smack. Can this man's fundamental values really change overnight? Also, I felt almost giddy and excited once I was done crying. Now I feel bad. So, gentlemen, started off doing things right. They both walked away. He blocked her initially, said we're done, but he caved. And not only did he cave, he's showing up with flowers and chocolates, and you could walk naked. I'll be with you. I just want you, baby. And what is she going to do? I guarantee you she's going to be posting more pictures on social media. She'll be wearing even shorter skirts, more revealing tops that her boobs are poking out. You get the point. And because now she has all the power in the relationship. But if he just held back, I guarantee she would have reached out with him for a while, or simply he would have a different girlfriend. Now the issues he has are going to be even worse. So the moral of the story is, guys, if you have certain things that are deal breakers for you, stand by them. Do not cave because at 5 hours later, for God's sake, because now she's got all the power. She may not have liked it, but she at least would have respected him before. But now, guarantee you, ain't going to go too well. Trust me. So remember this lesson.